I am using my F-150 today. And I've done a catering order and I've done a DoorDash order, and I have in queue a last mile order. But then I decided, what the fuck, I'm going to turn on the rideshare app and see what's going on, because as I mentioned in my previous video, I've noticed that the Columbia, South Carolina market has just seized up. It is slow across all the apps, be it gig food delivery app or the last mile delivery apps, and I even throw in there the brokered opportunities. And so I've not looked at any load boards today. I've just looked at stuff locally, and I'm just trudging along right now. I'm probably going to be right close to $100 after I do this rideshare ride. It is showing going to the airport for $21.74. Now, I mentioned that I've got in queue a last mile delivery opportunity. I mean, it ain't nothing to talk about. I mean, it's nothing to talk about. And I may keep it, and I may just throw it back. What it appears to be is a hot water heater, and with me using F-150 and not the van, I've got to lift it up or somehow maneuver it up into the bed of the F-150, as opposed to just literally sliding it onto the van. The other thing is that I can't be trying to work rideshare and last mile and gig food delivery apps all at the same time. Something's got to give, or most things got to give. You got to do one thing at a time. Now, one thing that I am not doing is both Uber and Lyft at the same time. For whatever reason, I'm just not turning on Uber. I'm working one app, and that's Lyft. When I was doing rideshare, it was really whichever app was hottest. Okay, I've completed my first rideshare ride since October 2020. And again, it was an airport ride. And there are some nuances to the app now that I'm having to get used to. One of them is, would you be willing to drive have that person as your rider again? I said yeah. He was cool. I gave him a 5-star. Hopefully you'll give me a 5-star. We chatted about a bunch of things, but the commonality was travel and daughters. And yeah, he definitely understood the fact that daughters are expensive, and they don't get any less expensive over time. He has 2 daughters, so lucky guy, good for him. But anyway, so again, $21.04, and that puts me close to $100 for the day. It's still brutal out here. Brutal, absolute brutal. So while I've completed the airport ride, now I can drive about 15 minutes over to do this last mile gig opportunity, and that will put me for sure over $100 for today, if memory serves me correct. It was $57 for the catering opportunity, and then 21, so that's 78, then 8, that's 86. Yeah, I'll be over 100 with the last mile opportunity. Quite frankly, I'm not going to be naive about this. That was nice to see an airport ride like that. In fact, the rider tipped extra, and so the rider tipped extra another $7.75. So we went up to $28.79 for that ride, which is pretty damn good for a 20-minute ride to the airport. But I'm not naive. Lyft may have just threw me a bone just to try to entice me into doing more rides. Now, I had turned down like 4 of the rides before that one showed up, and since then I've seen another 4 rides, all of which that I've turned down. They were decent distance, or based on time, like the total time estimate was like 9-10 minutes, and then the total ride amount was like $8-9. But what I remember, but we're talking full years, more than likely 5 years in which I've been out of circulation in terms of those rideshare instincts. And so, admittedly, it will take me a while to get a sense or a feel for those quick calculations that I can do, like with gig food apps and last mile delivery apps, and even working load boards. Now, one thing that I quickly noticed, finally, I suppose, is that Lyft now, instead of just showing dots on the map, they actually tell you cross streets or approximations of where you'll be picking up and where you'll be dropping off. So that helps you in deciding if it's something that you want to do. Obviously, when it says airport, hey, that's an easy one. But then I've seen other locations, like there were two of them. There were consecutive pickups that were taking you to the airport, but I wasn't feeling it, as they would say. So this last one was like a $9 ride, but it was a pickup from this exact spot about 7-8 minutes away if the lights are cooperative, and then the drop-off location would be from the pickup to the drop-off about 10 to 12 minutes away. I guess you could talk miles and all that, but I think time factor is probably going to be the biggest thing with my deciding if I'm going to accept a ride or not, unless it's an airport ride. But again, I think that Lyft may have thrown me a bone just to get me, just to try to entice me to keep the app on. But what I also noticed is that if you turn down like 2 or 3 rides, it kicks you back out. I'm gonna say that my working out at F-150 today definitely takes me back to 2022 for sure, but I even want to say like 2021. And I'm not going to say this is a step down today, but it certainly reminds me of where I've come from. I've mentioned multiple times on past Geezer segments where I started in the gig economy. In that I started 2016 with a 2009 Taurus with 176,000 miles, and then worked my way up through vehicles with using a Maxima, and then a Pathfinder, then this F-150, and along the way I also got that Taurus that I still have, and then obviously with the Sprinter / cargo van. Just the way things are kind of unfolding, developing today is definitely the way it used to be. Just by the way opportunities have come about. Now, what's different though is that when we're talking as of 2021, you're talking of July 2021, when I first completed the transaction for this F-150. Prior to that, 2020 to 2021, it was the Pathfinder. And I had altogether just one ride in the Pathfinder. So then most of the action before then was either out of the Taurus or the Maxima, the 2011 Maxima. I'm not gonna say it's I mean it. I guess it's almost incumbent to say that it's humbling. But again, it just brings me back to a point long before the Gig Geezer channel, and it is what it is. So I've actually come back out for a second half grind. I used to say first half hustle, second half hustle, but this is second half grind. I finished the first half grind at $136.90, and now I'm on a DoorDash. And this, it does not say it's a large order program opportunity, but it shows an offer amount of $19.95. Now that may be all what it pays, but I'll show what it pays once I drop off the order. And then after that, there's a last mile gig delivery opportunity that I actually threw back earlier because I could not formulate in my mind what the dimensions were, but I can formulate in my mind now, and these are dimensions that look like it fit in the F-150. So I'm gonna do it, and I'll resume from that point, having loaded everything into the F-150. Alrighty, so I am leaving the drop-off location for that DoorDash order. It paid as offered, $19.95. Not surprised, I'd called that already. Just feels like again, I can't say it enough though, but it just feels like I've turned the clock back a few years. The only difference is that I'm showing more of this than I did 3 years ago. Well, if I were to show a picture of me from 2015, maybe even 2019, probably more like 2019, you would say, Geezer, what the fuck happened to you, man? All of a sudden you start showing all this gray. I've gone a long time without showing gray, and I've never used Mr. Clairol or Grecian formula. Could be genes on that one. Then again, could be the stress and pressure that I put on myself to earn money in recent years. Who knows? But anyway, so now we're gonna go to the last mile delivery location. What it appears to be are 8-foot thin pieces of wood, like eight foot cuts of 1x1s. So those are your real thin pieces of wood that are used like for fascia or something else. And then it's an unusual measurement, 9x3, but 52 inches long. When I first saw it, when I initially saw it, I thought it was 52 inches wide, but it's length. But it doesn't describe exactly what it is though. It could be something circular or cylindrical, or it could be a square piece of wood for all I know. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is show a picture of it loaded up or stuffed into the F-150. All right, well, there's nothing to say about that last mile delivery opportunity. The reason being is because when I got there, I was informed that their fulfillment person had already gone for the day. So I get half money. So what that means is that's it for now. I'm gonna hang out for one more order opportunity. That should get me over 200 for the day. And it kind of brings back old times when I used to work out at the F-150 exclusively. So that's all I have to share for this segment of the Gig Geezer. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. My total for the day is going to be right next to me here. And again, if you hit the subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.